Yes, always great to have you join me on this quest for knowledge and just being able to learn together, to grow together, and to make decisions concerning the progress of our lives. Okay, so as I am going about this, my day has been quite a long one, but I was like, no, I cannot go to bed until I actually do this because I've wanted to do this kind of comparison for so long. Today, I want us to compare between healthy relationships versus the narcissistic kind of relationships or toxic relationships. So I'm doing this at 3 a.m. in the night, okay? But again, yes, we are good to go. So this is a question that I've been asked so many times when I'm on TV interviews, when I'm writing articles in magazines and newspapers. Like, what is, because for so long I've been talking about toxic relationships, and so many people kept thinking that, you know what, you only talk about the bad things, you only talk about the, okay, you only talk about the good things, but very slightly, but again, you always talk about the bad things. And I'm like, but it's not bad to talk about the bad things, because then you actually open people's eyes to see that they need to make certain decisions, or they need to decide if they want to live a better life. Okay, and that is exactly why I'm here, that we will learn to live a better life. Okay, so when we look at the differences when it comes to relationships, I will begin with healthy relationships, because we all need a boost. There are people that have tested both healthy and narcissistic relationships, and there are people who have only tested that narcissistic relationship, so they don't know what to expect in a healthy relationship. And then there are people that have only tested healthy relationships. They don't even want to ever try the narcissistic relationships. My friend, you don't want to ever try the narcissistic relationship. But again, when you talk about the characteristics of healthy relationships, you're really talking about you're talking about respect, you're talking about companionship, you're talking about compassion, you're talking about kindness, you're talking about being comfortable, you're talking about empathy, gratitude, you're talking about commitment, you are talking about acceptance, you're talking about friendship, loyalty, you are talking. Now, if you really go through that list, it's a long list of more than 10 things, but things that ground you and center you and not send you into confusion. While on the other hand, when you look at the traits that narcissists have, you will look at contempt, you will look at minimization, you will look at devaluing, you will look at, just it's a sense of entitlement, okay? You look at gaslighting, you look at invalidation, you look at manipulation. So you see that it's the total opposite, both extremes, the good and the bad, okay? And then when you look at, how the characteristics come down to trust. There's a lot of trust in a healthy relationship. Okay, there will be a bit of bumpy roads, and there will be a bit of fighting or something like that, and we'll talk about more about fighting as we go on. But you realize that instead of trust, there will be lying and deceit on the side of the narcissist or the toxic person. And then where you are centered and grounded, a healthy relationship grounds you, like it centers you. But when you look on the other side, there's only a state of confusion and self-doubt that has been planted, and second guessing yourself. Okay, so you just don't know where you fall. Now, in the healthy relationship, there's a lot of serenity and comfort, okay, and just feeling like you've arrived, like this is it, you don't want anything else. But when you look at the narcissistic kind of relationship, then you're looking at fear all the time. You're looking at you feeling less than you entered the relationship. You entered the relationship comfortable, you entered it confident, with self-esteem, you entered it hardworking, you entered it being a go-getter, you entered it, having valid dreams and ambitions. But now you feel less of yourself, and you just feel like every time is a gaslighting opportunity for this person to actually pull you down or put you off. Okay, so let's just quickly go to what a first date will look like when you talk about a narcissist. Now, a narcissist is not going to be your typical person. Or when it comes to dates, it will be like thought out. It will be, he bought flowers and he had them delivered, that he booked a nice restaurant. He most especially if he has a bit of money, because remember, they have their ego to protect. And remember, you are their new supply. Okay, so they must lure you, they must seduce you, they must love bomb you. So you see those three things: they must lure you, they must seduce you, they must love bomb you. So in that moment, they want to be able, you're going to be a bit destabilized. Why? Because then you're like, I have never seen this kind of love. It's going to be like a dreamy kind of love. It's going to be like the Hollywood kind of an action. It's going to be like, it's going to be too huge and too thoughtful and too like, it's just going to get you off your feet for a moment. Okay. And then the things that you should be able to actually look out or to seek for, or to look at, is how does this person actually treat the waiters. Okay, that will show you a lot. How does he look at other people? Because it's very possible that if he is this flamboyant kind of narcissist, that he will be showing like he knows everyone from the person at the door to the waiters to he'll be like, I mean, this is his world and he has it all. His ego is so high. When it comes to the COVID kind of narcissist, it's very possible that they will go slow, like they will behave like they don't know anyone, and then they will be, they will be rude to the waiters, and they will be, and you'll be like, but this person, okay? So you should really look out for some of those things, because some of those, it's the small things that actually pop up the red flags so that you can know that, okay, there's a warning sign. But what they do is they make it really flamboyant and so nice that your siren will be silenced, that even when there's a red flag, no bell will go off. So it will not be triggered in you to say that, okay, this is the time I need to make a decision. I cannot go on with this. Like you're dreaming, like you're becoming blind, you're just falling. That is how it actually feels. So when you look at the grumpiness and the entitlement, and and look at this. If you're supposed to be in a line somewhere, maybe to go and get something, a narcissist will always be impatient, will always want to cut the line, will always want to show a sense of entitlement, always grumbling, always blackmailing people or saying bad things about people, and you're like, but I've just seen you today and you're saying all those words. So that will be inside of you. Remember, you can't say it because you're overtaken by everything that is happening around you, because everything is a shiny object. Okay. So I want you to be able to actually look at that. And then there are those that are really, really very clever, that they will cover up, all those things. But there will be that unsettling kind of feeling that you have whenever you are with them. Like you cannot match up to them. You cannot, like they're too good for you. Like you will feel like they outsmart you. They will out-reason you. They will and they want to order for you. They don't want to give you the leeway to order for yourself. So some of those things actually you should really look at. And this is what happens for so many clients that I've actually met, most of them that are just getting into their first dates. That you who is just getting into this relationship with a narcissist, most of the times you'll be the one ending up to ask for a physical kind of, or maybe to even have sex with them. They will be too good that they will outsmart you, and they will show you that they don't need your body, and they don't need anything, and you'll be the one that's saying, you know what, after he has done everything, I know there's so many ladies that have landed themselves in that hot soup. So you end up being the one to suggest or to insinuate or to actually seduce them into this, thinking that, okay, I need to keep all this and I just don't need to lose it. So most of the ladies go into a panic attack, and actually it even happens on the side of the guys. If the lady is the one that is a narcissist, you're the one, I mean, she will show you, you know what, I mean, we're just doing this, we're friends, we're going for a date, yes, let's see how it goes. But you'll be the one that will be lured to think that, you know what, I mean, she's not just going like that. So you will end up actually messing up and wanting to cement this relationship even on a first date. Okay. Let's look at the communication, because the communication sometimes is a real giveaway. When you talk about communication, most of the times the love bombers will have a high frequency of communication when they are beginning, very high frequency. And sometimes they will even get annoyed because maybe you're not responding in time, you're not online on time, and so they will feel like maybe you're just not valuing them and what. So they will start quarreling and what. Now, some of those are even red flags. And but when you go to the COVID one, remember, he's the one that does not come out so, vividly. He will be very inconsistent, and you'll be on the phone waiting for them to actually either call or send a message. You jump at every notification. You're thinking, are they going to contact me? Will they need to see me this week? Will we hang out this week? So you're asking yourself endless questions. You get headaches, you get irritated. They're not calling, they're not, and then they call once in a while when they actually need you or something like that. So you see the difference when it comes to the hyped up kind of show. I call it a show when it comes to the narcissist and the people that are in their lives, that it's not just a normal thing. Okay, for them they make it extraordinary, and they make it like it's a grand event, and so everyone has to see what is actually happening. So it's quite overwhelming, even the conversations, and it's quite you feel like you're being victimized in a way, because whenever you speak, either they are too high, they know it all, and they can fix it all, they have tried everything, they are too exposed, they are too posh, they have arrived, like literally you feel like you're a second-class citizen. And there's also somewhere you will feel like that, but we will talk about that. Okay, and then there are those, you remember I talked about the covert ones. The covert ones usually have a way of playing the victim. So when they come and play the victim, you feel a sense of like you should rescue them. And indeed, most people tend to go and rescue them. So before you know it, before it's even too long, they are living in your house, they're driving your car, you've gotten people to actually help them. Either you've borrowed money from friends, you've done all these kinds of things. You just don't know this person. You just went on a date or two, and now you are overdoing because they pretended they were victim, and now you are trying to actually save them and rescue them, and they are really manipulating you. Now, when you come to the healthy one, I laugh, because a healthy one really looks ordinary. Like it's an ordinary, normal kind of date. Very easy, like I mean, very comforting. Okay, sometimes you can spend hours talking to someone, and sometimes hours can turn into like you're really interested in this person, and you are down to earth. Sometimes you're not going to put on so good, or this person is not going to put on so good. Maybe they're not going to come from home, go back and hire a limousine or hire a big car or something like that. They're going to come as they are with their small car, like, I mean, love me the way I am. Okay, and sometimes they're not going to put on so amazing clothes or something like that. They will just come from office, and maybe they will tell you, can we meet at a certain restaurant? Do you know it? But for a narcissist, most of the times they'll even they will insist that they come for you, or they come pick you, or something like something grand. They can't. It has to be something really grand. Okay, so you see that there's a temptation of thinking that this normal thing, oh God, it's just dragging. But sometimes a normal relationship will actually be like that, or a healthy relationship will be like that. Now, when you jump, because we usually say that the love bombing sometimes happens between 6 to 8 to 10 weeks. Now, when you get into the 10 weeks, sometimes it's still in the love bombing zone, and sometimes it's still the big parties and the lavish, flamboyant kind of surprises and gifts. But when it comes to the covert one, just like I said, now you are like maybe they have even by the 10th week they have moved into your house, and you're taking care of them. They're driving your car, they're eating your food, but you remember there's nothing like talking about bills. Okay, so you are here taking care of someone, and they're fully relying on you, and there are no demarcations at all. And so most of the times you'll even see them when you drive in the same car. Most of the narcissists, and it has been proven on the road, they are the worst drivers. Like they will bump into others, they will shout, they will honk, they will do all these things that put you up. Their anger bursts are very unpredictable, and they are constantly late. Sometimes they don't keep you their word when they decide to have a date with you, and most of the times there's just distraction. Okay, either they're looking at their phone, or they're looking at another woman, or they're looking at another man, or like they're just distracted. They're not the kind what they were when they were beginning this relationship. And sometimes you feel like there's a bit of doubt inside of you, the small things that you have seen. But again, this is what happens: we give excuses. Again, we give excuses, and then we rationalize things, and then we say, you know what, maybe it's because he's busy, maybe it's because, and maybe sometimes the communication is not consistent. Then you start saying maybe he's busy, maybe he had a long day, maybe he had, so you give all those excuses. But remember that red flags have popped up, and then you are just giving the excuses and rationalizing this. Now, when you look, jump to the healthy side, it's going to be really a normal time when it's around 10 dates or 11 dates or whatever, 15 dates. Like, you will go for a movie, you will hang out, you will like do ordinary things, okay? And the pacing is not going to be quite like as frequent as what a narcissistic person does, but it's going to be like normal and very comfortable around this person, and very comforting. But one thing that you will actually, some of the things that you'll feel is the mutuality of the respect that is given in this kind of relationship. You feel hard. You feel like this person is really interested in you, and they really want to make this work. So you feel like you are seen, okay, and you are valued, and that is a very good feeling, even when it's just too slow and it's not happening, like it's not flaring like the popcorns in the narcissistic relationship, but it feels comforting and it feels so nice. I want us to talk about the fights, because those, so many of my clients, we've had endless talks about the fights. Now, when you talk about a fight with a narcissist, because every relationship has fights, every relationship, even healthy relationships. And sometimes we say that having some of those fights means, like, you know what, you have the emotions are really strong and you really want to make this work. And that is what happens in a healthy relationship. But when it comes to the narcissistic kind of narcissists or narcissistic tendencies, this is what happens. They fight to win, like they really have to win. And their fights are really ugly, and they get dirty, because they will want to invalidate you. They would want to gaslight you. They will want to manipulate you, and then they're like an encyclopedia. Like they never forget, and they never forget to their advantage. But when it comes to something, being concerned about you and your needs and what you air, they will never remember. Like they have very selective memory about what they remember, and most of the times they will really be, it will be tiring. The fights will be tiring, because so many of my clients have come to me and told me that, you know what, I'm just tired. I'm tired of fighting. We fight day and night, and I'm just tired. I think I might let him have his way, let him do what he wants, because whenever I try to bring me in my opinion, then it's a fight. Okay, so I want you to look at that, and sometimes even the victims avoid the fights, and I know that you understand this. You're like, you know what, I'm not going to fight, not this time, and then you just let it slide, you just let it go, and you're just being taken for granted, and it's just not helping. But when you go to the healthy relationship, the fights are going to be there, and it's okay for them to be there, but they're going to be very respectful, and then they're not going to be manipulative. They are not going to be gaslighting, and they are not going to be stonewalling you. They are not going to be giving you silent treatments. It will be respectful. Like you will feel hard that your concerns, you've aired your concerns, and the other person has aired their concerns, and then there is always a ways of resolving these issues. But for the people that are in narcissistic relationships, this is what they've always told me: we have never resolved even a single issue, even if it's about buying cooking oil, even if it's about stocking the fridge, even if it's, as in, we have never agreed on anything, and we have never resolved anything. Like it's always his way and how he sees it, and it's always her way and how she sees it, and that is it. We don't have to say anything. So these people tend to get tired, and they just cower away, and they never actually do anything about it. And there's something else that we've usually talked about with my clients, about either events, for example, and most of these have really been work events. For example, when they invite you at work and they say, "Oh, come with your +1," and then you bring your spouse. Okay, so you bring your spouse, but most of the times when you go with a narcissistic person, like you are really treated like a second-class citizen. You remember I mentioned that. So when when you're treated like a second-class citizen, maybe they're the ones that are being viewed, maybe they're being celebrated, maybe there's a promotion for them, but when they mention something good about them, there's a way they just abandon you or leave your hand and just walk away, and they will mingle with all the admirers if it's a man, or they will mingle with all the admirers if it's a woman, and they will leave you alone, unattended to and uncatered for, and maybe they will come back at the end of the night or at the end of the evening, and that is when they remember. Or maybe they meet you in the car, or you meet at home if you're driving different cars, or like for them it's about them. They take the center stage, they take in all the adoration, they take in all the love, and they just leave you aside. Now when they are the ones coming to your event, this is what happens. For example, there's a promotion for you, and then but your partner is the one that is narcissistic. So this is what happens all the time. They will be grumbling. They'll be like, "Oh my God, time is going. When are we getting out of here? I mean, I have so many things to do. I should have watched a match. I should have." Like, they are really showing you they're uncomfortable. They don't want to be here, and they are not cheering you on. They are not supportive of you, and they are not. Sometimes they will even belittle the kind of either gift or award that you're going to get. And like the talk will be on and on and on. They will be whispering something, one thing after another, just to destabilize you. And most of the people, this is what they've told me. I ended up getting tired, and I told my husband, "Let's go." Or I ended up getting tired, and I told her, if all you want is us to leave this place, let's leave this place so that I can have peace. And so that is how, when it comes to events and socializing, and even, by the way, when you what would I call hosting, even when you're hosting in your home, you just be sure that this person is going to take all the glory. This person is going to interact with everyone else but you. This person will, belittle you, will put you down in front of people and embarrass you in a way. So you look out for that, okay? You really look out for that. And sometimes they'll just act not interested at all, and which is very painful. But when you look at the healthy relationship, most of the times, the moment, like, the event will be really lovely. They will be by your side all the time. Like, you will be looking at yourselves and just saying that, you know what, we did it, or you did it. They will be supportive of your ambitions. They will be supportive of your dreams. They will be supportive of whether you've been invited for a work party or just any other kind of event. And when they decide to come with you, they will be there to actually support you in every kind of way. There will be a lot of gratitude, a lot of celebrating you. There is nothing like being threatened by someone. When someone is not narcissistic, or when both partners are not narcissistic, you realize that they're both vouching for each other, they're both celebrating each other, and it's a mutual kind of win. If you win, I win, and if I win, you win. Okay. And so this person even tends to support you when you're doing something, whether you're writing a book, whether you want to start a business, whether you want, like, they're always there cheering you on and telling you can do this, this can happen, and it will all be good. And they believe in you, which is the best thing that a spouse can actually do for you. So I want you to look at these differences and see that they are actually very very huge and very vivid. But again, if you don't know, you will never know, or you will never tell that this is a toxic relationship, or you'll never differentiate. So it's good to actually go through some of these things and know, so that you know that, okay, this is not healthy, this is healthy, and okay, what do I do about this, or what do I do about that? And not the least, but I think I would want us to touch on something to do with moving in with a narcissist, whether the wedding is done or whether there is no wedding, just moving into their space and being able to live with them. Now, for a narcissist, you will always feel like a visitor. Like, you will move in, but you will always be fearing to touch certain things. You'll always be there is no space for your things, so you have to figure out where you put them. And like, there is no mutual agreement. Like, no, you don't even sit down to talk about bills or talk about, how you're going to survive. You're not welcome at all. But remember, you decided to move in with this person, but you're on eggshells from the first time. When you clean, you feel like it has not gotten clean. When you put his shirts, it seems like you put them the wrong way. When you put, and they, oh my God, like those, you're in tenterhooks all the time. That is when you actually move in with them, and they will criticize you. They will, and by the way, it even happens now. It happens too because there's moving into their space and they don't welcome you. You don't have any place. There's also you moving, them moving into your place. When they move into your place, then they're going to criticize everything from the wall hangings to the curtains to like everything is going to be a bad thing, and you really literally have to redo. But again, when you look at a healthy relationship, there is a way someone will accommodate you. So not even accommodating, because accommodating is like they're accommodating something they don't like. But there is a way someone will be welcoming. They will create space. They will even tell you, oh, this closet, I emptied it for you. You can put this is a washing basket. This is where you can put your jewelry. You use just these drawers and I will use the other drawers, and then a month, this is how much we pay for power. This is how much we pay for water. This is as in it literally becomes your home. Even when you go to the kitchen, even when because we all have different behaviors. Some of us are not as clean and some of us are really clean. Some of us are not good timekeepers. Some of us do not wake up on time. But when you were with a narcissist, they will criticize your time of waking up, how you cook, how you put on, how you look, how the house feels, how it smells. They will complain about everything. But for a nice relationship, even when they complain about something, they will be just showing you a different way to do it, and they will show you that they can do it with you, and then until you can get used. Okay, so they create the space, okay, and then you can rearrange things together just to make it a comfortable place for both of you. And sometimes the communication, not even sometimes but all the time, the communication is very clear that this is what we do and this is what we're going to do about it. Please come into my home and let's make it a home, and let's build from there. So some of the people get bored when it comes to the healthy relationships, and I've had so many of the people. I mean, there's no excitement. Oh God, there's nothing, no novelty. Like everything is just on a slope. But let me tell you, when you are on a slope in a healthy relationship, it's much better than being in the up and down in the roller coaster of rolling and rolling and not knowing where you're going to land, because then you don't know whether you're going to be with this person tomorrow. You don't know whether they love you. You don't know whether they cherish you, and that sometimes they're manipulating you, they're gaslighting you. At the same time, they behave like they're not even interested, they're distracted, they're all those things. But when they would do something good, it feels like you're on the moon. And then when they do something wrong, it feels like you've gone all the way to hell. That kind of zigzag, it's just not settling. It's just not worth it. Okay, with a healthy relationship, you can make it, you can spice it up, you can make it more interesting. Okay, you can plan for date nights, you can plan for hangouts, you can plan to host, you can plan to go to movies, you can plan, like you can have multiple plans, a getaway, plan together, because this is a healthy relationship. So guys, I will not go beyond that, because when I say more, I know we will have to do more videos about this comparison, but I feel, I know that you have been able to pick one or two things to show you that a healthy relationship feels a totally different way, and a narcissistic relationship feels a totally different way. And all I wish for you is a healthy relationship, so that you can be mutual, you can love each other, you can grow each other, you can groom each other, you can be there for each other through the thick and through the thin. No manipulation, no gaslighting, no taking advantage, no stonewalling, all those things. Okay, they will be far away from us. Okay, I love you and have a good one.